Hello and welcome. I'm out. I'm hoping you can hear me. The microphone's tucked down inside my coat at the moment. I'm at a special little location. I'm on the Isle of Wight at the moment, as you may have seen in the previous video. I'm gonna do a few videos down here, and I'm out this morning with Mrs. C. Mrs. C is out. My camera's not following me. There it is, Mrs. C, and we're out with a guy, Anthony Winch, who lives on the island. And I've never actually, I'm going to try and see the island. I used to live here. I spent 13 years on the island, and I'm going to try and see the island in a little bit slightly different way to the way I would normally see it. And one of the ways is coming to a few different locations like this that I've been to in the past, but never been to this part of the location. I normally see it from the other side and things like that. So I'm down at freshwater sea stacks. So there is definitely a shot for me in this, because I'm going to get the sea stacks. I'm going to get the water frothing all around it, because the water is quite frothy at the moment. There's this nice little bit of a green tinge to the water, and you've also got another sea stack going out there, the small one, which is leading you over to the cliffs, which are then disappearing into that murky grey horribleness. So there's definitely a couple of images going to be taken from here, a long exposure and maybe a slightly quicker one to get some movement in the water and the lines. And you get the lines in these cliffs as well. I'm not sure my camera's not following me. You get all these nice lines in the cliffs as well, which are all sort of taking you into the image and taking you through that way. So yeah, we will be doing that this morning. So yeah, that's the plan. And there's even some waves hitting the back of the stacks as well, which is quite nice, because it causing a bit of a splash as it comes up the side, which will look pretty good. So yeah, I think there's definitely an image here, a different way of seeing it. You're going to see a few videos from the Isle of Wight, and I'm going to try and see it in photography eyes and not in the old eyes where I used to live here. So yeah, welcome to the Isle of Wight. Let's get going. So the camera's out, it's on the tripod, and I'm facing in the right sort of direction. He can stay in the camera, he's hiding for over there. Anthony's sort of picking my mind. If you saw the last video where I was down at Compton Bay, he's actually out on a workshop with us this morning, but it's really quite pants. He's not even got his camera, he just wants to watch and see what we're doing. It's not stupid, because now it's started raining, it's keeping everything dry. But I've got this lovely little composition set up. So my idea of framing the image was to get the bottom corner of the cliffs, as you'll see in the image, leading from the bottom left hand corner, taking you through the image. I've allowed enough room on the right hand side so I'm not cutting off the edge of the cliff, and then it's just leading off in. We've got the sea stacks, which are also the nice key to the image. They're on the thirds as well, so they all sort of set in that nice parameters inside the image, inside the frame. So it's working really well. I was going to do a long exposure, but it's drizzling, and you can't do long exposures in drizzle. It's just impossible. You can see with my glasses, everything's covered in rain spots. So yeah, I'm here for a few days, so I'll come back, maybe try tomorrow morning if it's not raining. But yeah, not a bad little shot. It's got this nice little tinge of green to the water, which is really nice. I may try a slightly zoomed in shot as well, but there is a bit of tinge of green. What are you saying? Mrs. C was saying you could see the colour. I'm like, there's no colour here at all, but there is a tinge of green in it. It's the sea, isn't it? It's got to be green. But yeah, not a bad little shot to be getting on with. We are going to sort of have a mooch around. There's a few different locations today, so I'm going to make this video just exploring a little bit of the island over this back end of it, and see what we can come up with next. But yeah, cracking little shot to get started with. Hope you like it, and away we go. Got my tripod set up, but I've not got the camera set up yet. We came for breakfast, and he bought us breakfast. Had a lovely sausage and egg sandwich, was really nice. The cafe's literally here, and we've got this little pier in Yarmouth, and I wouldn't have thought much of it, in all fairness. It wasn't on my list of things to do, but I noticed a marker buoy, or a marker post, and it looks really minimal. It's just one post on its own. While we were standing there looking out, I thought, hang on a minute, this pier's got something about it. The wet timbers are making all the nice reflections. I got my phone out, took a phone shot like I normally do, and it looks really good. You've got these really big white handrails that roll down, and I think they stand out really nice. As it could be a black and white image, but even if I leave the colour in it and just have that tinge of brown, it doesn't really matter. But it does work out a really nice shot leading out. The horizon is slicing through the rails at the end, which I can't do a lot about. I've got the tripod as high as I possibly can, but I think I have to live with it. I'm going to take two. One with it mainly going into nothing, and then I'm going to split the image in half, so you've got half just greyness and have this on the bottom, I think. But it's all about lining the bottom of the image up with these posts. So either side of me you can see these metal railings. I've got to line them up exactly in the bottom of the image. So that's the plan. I'll get this set up, get this shot, and then I'm going to go down onto the beach and take one of the side of the pier looking across. So yeah, speak to you in a bit. So I've now got the camera out, and I've noticed that the polarizer is doing a massive job between the two different images. I'm going to take two shots for you just to show you the difference between the polarizer on and the polarizer off. And I'm going to put them up on the edge of the frame just there, just to have a look at them. Just look at the difference that makes with the polarizer on and off. It's phenomenal the way the reflection, even though there's no sunlight out, what the reflected light's doing on this wet timber. So I've got some people walking up the beach up the pier at the moment, so I'm going to wait for them to go, then I'm going to get the shot. This is a stunning shot. This is going to be really nice. So I'll pick the best one, and I'll stick the best result up now for you and have a look. But yeah, this is really, really nice. Look at the texture in the sky as well. Phenomenal. I think the weather's getting to me. I've just taken a picture of a matchstick, and you might be laughing and thinking, what do you mean a matchstick? Wait until you see this image. It is just a stick. I can't describe it any other than that. The only thing I will describe is it is on the thirds. Now, Mrs. C's been taking one at about 35 minutes. How long was your exposure?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. She's got a 2-minute exposure. Now, if it came out, I'll stick it up for you, because we all know you like seeing Mrs. C's images. But I will show you my picture of my stick, because it's a stick. I'm back on the island. I'm going a bit stir crazy, so yeah, we'll see what else we can find other than a stick. Speak to you in a bit. Walking along at Fort Victoria now. We've come just up the coast, only a few miles, well, a mile or so, not even that far at all, and we've come to a place called Fort Victoria, which is a big structure you can see behind me. Now down here, and I have shot this before, I didn't do a very good job of it. Down here we've got an old pier. Now the problem with the old pier is you need to be, I think, as high as you possibly can, so you can sort of look down on it. So I'm going to attempt to shoot it again, try and do a long exposure. You can just about see the mainland in the background now, which isn't ideal, but this is just an old structure, an old pier. I don't even know what it was used for. It's never been anything, even in the years when I lived back here, back in the 80s and 90s. But yeah, we'll give it a go. We'll see what we can do with it. Old tractor. Oh yeah, there is a little tractor. Denise just spotted a tractor as well. So yeah, and while we're here, we're gonna mention these as well. I'm gonna do a quick review on these new Valorec gloves. So if you're interested, I'll put the link up for that if it's out before this video, so you can have a look at these. We've both got a pair to talk about. So yeah, for now, let's have a go at this. See if I can just make anything from it. I'm just looking at grey minimal, and then we're going to go round the other side of Fort Victoria over that side, and there's a lighthouse over on the mainland. I think it's Cowshot Spit. I'm not sure. It could be I could be completely in a different place. But I'll tell you what it is when we get over there, and we'll do a nice soft kind of minimal image as well on that, I think. Right, let's get the camera set up and give this a go. I've got a new cameraman, just got my filters out. It's starting to drizzle again, which is a bit of a pain. Camera's up as high as I can possibly get it, but I could do with being up even higher. I mean, if I can drag that table and chairs over, I would, but it's not going to happen, or even stand on the boat behind us. But this is as high as I can get. It's not a bad position. I've got my horizon off of centre. I've just got to find some filters now and try and keep the drizzle off, because I don't mind shooting in the rain and stuff like that, but I find it really difficult to shoot in drizzle because it gets everywhere. So it's nice having a bit of a cameraman, because it means you can see a little bit of what I'm doing at the time I'm doing it. So let's go for this before the drizzle gets on. I've got my 2-second timer f11. I've already pre-focused, and I've got the polarizer set so that I've got eliminated as much contrast and making it very minimal and very white and pale. Now I'm bracketing, so I'm going to get a variation of shutter speeds, but this drizzle is coming sideways and I'm sure it's going to be on the lens. First shot's been done. I've got another 3 more, or 4 more even, because I'm shooting 5. There'll all be a slight variation on time, which will give me a different variation obviously on exposure as well. I'm trying to keep my hand up as close as I can to stop the rain and shield it and keep as much drizzle off as possible, and hopefully my fingers won't be in the shot. I'm shooting at wide angle as well, which is helping. It's just making a simple minimalistic image. I've got a shadow underneath, a reflection, and nothing else in the background, which is really quite nice.
I might actually have to go and get my own camera now.
You might go and get your own camera.
What you're doing.
She likes the idea. Yeah. So if you can see on the back of the screen, let's see if I can show you this.
I'll wait until the rain's gone.
So there you go, you can see I've got this nice minimal shot. See if I can tap the screen so it focuses for you. So I've got this nice minimal, simple shot, very, very pleasing. Mrs. C's contemplating about going and get her a tripod. Now she's seen my photographs, she's like, oh, I quite like that. I might give it a go myself, but does she be bothered or doesn't she be bothered? Tell her, get your ass over. The van is only over there. So go and get your tripod camera, and you have to use my tripod, which is a bit higher. This is where I wish I had my Benro. If I had my Benro, I could go another foot taller. I ought to take it out in the van, and so I've always got it with me, but it's just something else in the van taking up more space. But I might have to build a little hole in the back to keep it. The wife wants a cup of tea. If it stops drizzling, you'll see the mainland. The drizzle's actually blocking the mainland.
Yeah, no, but it's misty and horrible.
She's talking herself out of it. I'll get her to get one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the side though, and I'm going to shoot one from the side, and I may even get my tripod up on the table behind me, but from here you get a slight sideways angle at it, and I can put my tripod up on there. So the commitment, see, I said I was going to get on the table. I couldn't stand on the top because it's a bit rickety, but I've definitely managed to come up at least another foot to 18 inches, but I'm not so keen on this shot. I've already taken it. I'm going to try again in a moment when it stops drizzling, but I'm not sure this one works quite as well as the other one. I'm going to knock it down to about an f8 to give me a slightly quicker speed to see if I can get a little bit more of the shape leading out into a sort of nothing, but it's just to speed the speeds up a little bit quicker. That's why I've gone faster, to saves any shaking, because I'm shaking, the tripod's shaking, the table's moving. I'm just trying to keep it all as quick as we can, long exposure, and getting as least raindrops as possible. Okay, let's go back to the van for a cup of tea first, and then we'll carry on after this rain's gone. Been back to the van after it started raining, and we've just come for a bit of a walk now. I've been here loads of times, so it's nothing overly interesting to me, but when you see the big guns and the big cannons, and this was a battlement fort, you know, this is Fort Victoria. It was a battlement to protect the Solent, which is protecting Southampton and Portsmouth, you know, from each end. It's quite some feat, to be honest. And there's a lot of battlements around the island, and you can see the guns and the cannons sticking out, and they were big guns. I'm here now because I'm going to shoot the other direction. The rain's laid off, and we've got a lighthouse, and it wasn't Cowshot Spit. Cowshot Spit is over that direction. That is Hurst Spit. Hurst Spit, and if I can show you what we're going to shoot, we're going to make this a very, very minimal shot. I have shot it before in the past, but we've got the little, you can see the battlements, the armoury battlement sort of things there, and you've got the lighthouse, and that's what I'm doing. And the good thing is the lighthouse is actually on at the moment, so that's an absolute bonus that the lighthouse is on. So we're going to go for a very simple, very plain, long exposure, minimal shot of that, the lighthouse, and a grey sky. As you can see, Mrs. C's now digging into her bag for getting her camera out. She's going for a similar shot. Now we've had a cup of tea and she wants to come back to here, but the tripod she's got's shorter than mine, so she wants to borrow my tripod, which is fine. I've got no problems with that. No, I've got no problems with that. My tripod is taller than hers and a little bit more stable, but she's going to give it a shot and see if you can get a shot of this minimalistic old pier. So now she's never used a geared head before, so this is going to be interesting. Twizzle, twazzle, and twazzle and twizzle. You know what? She'll like this, and she'll want one of her own.
Yeah, all we need to know now is how they'll twist it.
Twisty, the one on the other side. That one, yeah.
You say.
I say. So when she's taking the shot, I'll put it up on the screen for you, so you can have a little look at what she's doing. She's just tinkering and playing at the moment, so.
I don't want any of the beachy bit.
The beach, no.
Let me just.
She's a manual focuser. She likes to do everything manually, which is why she can't have the tripod up in the air, because you can't see.
Right.
It is now.
It is now.
Not quite.
It is.
It is now.
It is now. Right. I'm getting filters.
She's going to pack all her filters on now, so I'm no way my battery's going to last another 15 minutes.
I actually love doing this just to.
She just loves packing all the filters on, so let her do this and then yeah, I'll put it up on the screen for you so you can have a little look at as well. But she knows she's not a bad photographer. We're on the move, back in the van. We just had half an hour of complete, or I had half an hour of a bit of a meltdown, to be honest. Just as Denise was taking that picture that you've just seen, I went to put my bag back on my back, and I noticed one of the pouches that I've just literally fitted to my bag, a little camera pouch that I'm keeping a torch in that Olight have sent me to review over the next couple of days. I'd lost. It had fallen off my bag, and I know I got out of the van with it, so I had to go looking for it. I've been all over the grass and along the edge of the beach, and I've walked all around the fort to see if anyone had picked it up. Couldn't find it anywhere, so I sort of writ it off as a bit of a loss. Just when we got back in the van, I was telling Denise, no, I said it's gone. I said it's definitely not on here, but we will trace our steps. She went, what's that? And over on one of the benches, nowhere near where we really walked, someone had put it on a bench. Brilliant. Thank you very much. I know you're not watching this, but I'm going to thank you anyway. Very honest. It is the Isle of Wight, and most people down here are pretty honest. They're not a bad bunch. So yeah, thank you very much for that. I've found it, so I can do the review. Again, I know you're not really bothered about that, but it's taken a piece of mind off me, a weight off my mind, because I thought I felt quite embarrassed to tell them I'd lost it. So anyway, we're now heading back to where we started this morning, on the sea stacks over at Freshwater. So we're going to head back that way now, and Denise is piling me with chocolates because it is Christmas. So yeah, I'll speak to you when we get back up that way, because I'm driving. I've got a new camera angle as well. I've got the camera mounted on my dashboard in front, but I wouldn't be able to drive far like this because you're right, literally right in front of my eye line. So I'm going to pull up down here, move this camera, and I'll speak to you in a little while when we get to the sea stacks. Got one baking. We've come back up to the sea cliff, up to the White Cliffs, purely because I was thinking about doing the sea stacks. I was actually going to go for a walk into the caves, but you need a low tide, and the tide's definitely not low. The tide must have gone out and come back in again because it's really high, and the wind's blowing it straight in onto the side of us, so it's causing some really big crashing waves down on the beach. We may actually walk down onto the beach. We've got nothing else better to do for the next couple of hours until it goes dark, so we may just do that. But I've got one baking at the moment, a real 2-minute exposure, because there's two buildings on the edge of the cliff, and you've got the White Cliffs drop down, you've got all the nice stripy lines on the White Cliffs, and behind that you can see the cliffs going over the background as well. So it's quite a nice little shot. We did look this morning, but we didn't get the camera out because of the sideways rain. There's also a couple of big rocks and boulders actually in the water as well, but I'm going to see what it turns out like at 2 minutes. If I'm not keen on it, then I'll just use the normal exposure. But I am looking at the waves crashing against one of the sea stacks down here to my left, so I'm torn between going that way down to the beach or this way and getting a similar shot to what I got this morning, but drier, without the raindrops. So I'm not sure yet. Possibly end up on the beach to finish the video, but we'll see. I'll let you know in a minute after this image has been baked and I put it up on the screen. I think we're going to walk down. I think I favour going down and listening to the sound of the waves crashing against the pebbles, and having a look right up close to all the water splashing around, because there's some massive waves down there. crashing against the side of the sea defences. So yeah, I think we fancy going down and having a bit of a nose at that. And it'll do us good to have a little bit of a walk before bedtime. Well, before tea time. I say bedtime, before it goes dark, I mean. So yeah, this video is getting a bit longer in it. I will switch you back on down there, show you what's going on down there, and then yeah, we'll have to cut this one short and well, cut this one short. I've just said it's a long one. Forget what I said, everything just now. Right, so I'm down on the beach. I've come down on the beach and I've got the sea stack behind me, or one of them, and I'm just watching this water behind me, because every so often, every 7th wave or whatever it is, you'll see it crashing over my shoulder just about, and it's a bit bleeding scary when one comes right up close to you, I can tell you. Now I've got this drop-off shelf that I like right beside me, and what this drop-off shelf is doing is it's causing all the activity going on, and then I've got this steep bank which is protecting me from the edge of the water to a fashion. So the water's quite fierce, because I couldn't be able to get this close to the water without that drop-off. The shingle sounds fantastic. I absolutely love the sound of the sea on the shingle, and all I'm really doing is I'm just using the arc of the beach to give me this perfect sliding leading line, just bringing you around. Now I'm at f8, which is giving me 1.6 to a second, or 0.16 to a second, and I'm just clicking it as and when I feel the image needs this to be taken. So I've got a variation between having a high water level, which is about now, just looking over my left hand shoulder or my right hand shoulder, to having the draw of the water coming back and having the shiny shingle. I've got the polarizer on. Let's just spin the polarizer, see if it makes any difference. It does make the sky very moody looking, so I might keep the polarizer on. It makes the water these shingles are grey, dark grey, so it's a very good stark contrast between the dark grey and the white water, which I really, really like. And the moody grey sky just sets it all off. That's a nice arc, got a nice bit of movement there. And I'm just playing with that. Now I'm going to underexpose slightly maybe to keep some of the detail in the water. I just want to put the live view on to have a look, see if I'm actually getting any definition in that water. Is it too smooth? There is a little bit. Let's flick through. I like that one. I do like that one. That's very, very nice. Got some nice texture to the water on that one. And here comes a big crashing wave ready. Oh, it's coming up really close. Let's take this one. That did come up quite close. It's only about 6 foot away from me, but because of that shelf there, it's running back off very, very fast. If that shelf wasn't there that time, I would have been basted, totally basted. But yeah, I think just catching a few of the shots as the waves come in and out is nice. So again, this is another pleasant shot. A bit of a longer video this is turning out to be, isn't it? But I'm sure you're appreciating all the effort and work I'm putting into it. Yeah, I like that. I do like it. Reminds me very much of the Faroe Islands. I think it's time to say goodbye. I think it's time to end this video. We're down on the beach still. We're going to spend the next rest of the evening down here. We're going to, next half an hour or so, just listening to the sound of the waves and the crashing. We might take a few more shots. I've had a couple of you seen of the waves coming through. I've just taken a couple from behind me down here. Just taken a few of them as the leading lines. Just waves crashing and smashing around and seeing how close I can get to the water without getting washed away. Denise got a bit of an image just now. She just showed me there's a kid in the water. He's lucky he's still here because he was with his mum, but the waves are crashing, and the way they're crashing around, you can easily get swept under your feet and disappear into the sea here. So yeah, this is Freshwater Bay. So I've obviously put a map up. If I haven't, I'll put one up now just to show you roughly where we are on the island. It's only a very small island, and I spent many years here. But never saw it as what I'm seeing it now. I'm a completely different photographer and a completely different person to what I was when I was here. So hopefully you've enjoyed our bit of an adventure today. Started off at the sea stacks, which are over yonder on the end of that bit over there. Started off there, and then we went over across to Yarmouth, had some breakfast, done some minimal exposures, over to Fort William to do a couple of minimal exposures. Oh, waves splashing up. We've now walked round onto Freshwater Bay. We've come right round this side. We've noticed a or I've noticed, or Denise has just noticed, there's a doorway in the cliff and that goes through and up. I knew it was there, but I'd forgotten it was there, so it'd probably be in the pictures that I took earlier on. So you'd have to look really carefully at them, go back and have a look again and see what they look like. But yeah, I think we're going to cut it now. We're just going to walk up and down this beach for a bit, listen to the sound of the waves, try not to get wet as the waves come and crash against this water, because we sort of penned ourselves in a little bit. And yeah, check out the rest of our videos from the Isle of Wight. There's going to be a few more. I've got plans for tomorrow morning, which is going to be the other half of this morning's video, and hopefully get a little bit of colour or just something going on, so I can shoot down on Compton Bay, which is one of my favourite places to be on the island. Yeah, till next time, ciao for now. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, really means a lot. Helps the old algorithms and it helps YouTube grow. Mrs. C's out this week, so it deserves a share, I'm sure it does. And you've seen some of her images. So till next time, don't forget, you've got to get out and shoot if you're going to get any images. So till next time, I'm off, and I'll see you next on another beach, probably. I don't know, I'm waffling now. See you soon. Ciao for now, bye-bye. Wow! You wouldn't believe what's going on in front of us at the moment. The light is just... We were just about, well, we were done. We were walking back up and just, that's it, we're done, we're finished. But this is amazing. The light came down underneath the clouds and just gave us a glimpse of the sun just kissing the horizon and disappearing. And now we've got colour in the background, and we've got the sea stack in the foreground. We've legged it up the cliff, and the cliffs in the background where the rain's going over the top of the white cliffs are absolutely bonkers. This should make for a really, really good shot. Really quite hopeful and pleased about this. If it's going to work, it's going to work. It's going to be brilliant. I might even get a bit of a pano with it as well, a bit of a colour in the sky and a little bit of the cliffs and whatnot's going on in the foreground. Wow, what a way to finish the day. Oh, that's made me hopeful for the morning. I really hope something's going to happen in the morning now, I really do. What a fantastic way to finish the night off. Absolutely spankboculous. I've not even got time to do long exposures, because if I miss what's going on now, it's just, it'll be a dire shame. But the cliffs in the background, let's just see if I can get a close-up one again of the cliffs. The cloud over the top of this is just woof, insane, and the lights either side of it. You can see the roughness of the sea, everything. I'm bracketing because I haven't got time to think about exposures. I'm aperture priority, just banging them away. But I hope you're still with me, and I hope you didn't go away and turn off the video, because yeah, this was a cracking little treat. It really is. Let's see if I can zoom you in, just show you what's going on. Look at the atmosphere in this. I'm making a bit of a run for it. I'm going to see if I can get the second stack in. If I can get the second stack in on this, this could be one of the best images I'm going to get all week. Oh man, you've got to watch these cliffs though, because these cliffs are so crumbling away at the top. But yeah, what a way to finish the evening. We've got orange stripes in the sky now. Oh my God. I'll be back in a bit. I am really not worried how many photographs I am taking. The conditions at this precise moment are absolutely astonishing. There are pinks all the way around me. There's pinks in the sky, pinks going on above me, pinks everywhere in the sky. The Wight Cliffs are awash with a thunderstorm or a big storm that's going over the top of them, and they are really cladded in and they look fantastic. And I've got the glow of the hills, the glow of the Wight Cliffs. I'm stood right on the edge of the cliffs at the moment, and I'm promising you I can't get any closer to the edge. This is just absolutely insane. Look at where I'm stood just to get this shot. We are on the edge, the brink of the cliffs. And Mrs. C is in the image as well. She's right on the end there. But what are this? Look at this going on around us. Pinks and sky and absolutely bonkers, 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 bonkers. I think it's definitely time to say goodbye, and thank you so much if you stuck around towards the end of this, because this has made my day. Fantastic. Sea stacks, storm, rain, pinks, oranges, purples. I'm gonna cry. Oh no, it's so good. This is when it makes photography, this is when landscape photography comes together and it actually gives you something special. We was not expecting this, and within the case of 20 minutes, it's transformed from grey, rainy, overcast to something phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm just moving around a little bit on the top of the cliff just to try and get myself in a couple of different positions. You never know, one might work better than the others. Even shooting back along the cliff edge, back the other direction might be good. The sea stacks are nice this way as well, I like this. Let's see if I can get my tripod set in somewhere along this edge. And you're getting some blues now with the reds as well, which is quite nice. Get me tripod level in case I need to do a pano. And then we know we can take it anyway, but fantastic, what a treat. I reckon I can get a bit of a pano. Let's just go for this, let's go for one on air. Focus on there, sea stacks leading. Actually, this will make a fantastic vertical, but the colours are over that side. Yes, so thank you so much for sticking with it. Thank you for, just thank you for everything. Speak to you soon. Ciao for now. Yes.